So I got into a discussion with a fella yesterday. He said that transgender people don't exist. Okay? His argument was if you strip them naked and you look at their body, it's common sense whether they're male or female. Okay, the transgender thing is way more nuanced than that. Um, first of all, common sense doesn't exist. There's no such thing. And here's why I say that. Uh, it used to be common sense that the sun would go around the earth. Why would people think that? Because they'd go outside and they'd see it come up here in the morning and go down over here in the evening. So it was common sense that the sun went around the earth. Well, guess what? It's not true. Um, People used to think that if the water was clear, you look at it, it was clear, that it was safe to drink. But now we know about microbes, microorganisms, parasites, dangerous chemicals. It's just not true. The common sense was wrong. To take it even a step further, with the deal with abortion, for some people it's common sense that a person should have the right to the decisions of their own body. While the other group, it's common sense to them that you should try to preserve human life and that not doing so is murder. So here you have common sense diametrically opposed. So not only can common sense uh, be subjective, it can be incredibly wrong. Now, back to the transgender thing. Recent scientific studies show that if you have two brains and you're just looking at the brains, that you pretty much can't tell which one's male and female. Now, the old school thought was that if it's a bigger brain, then it's a male. If it's a smaller brain, it's female. Okay? But recent studies have shown that brains vary in size and that you may have a dude with a bigger head or a dude with a smaller head, a chick with a bigger head, a chick with a smaller head, and you can't be for sure exactly. Now, there's some other nuanced things that this study included, like the size of certain areas of the brain, but even that wasn't conclusive. And the reason I talk about brains is because really all we are as humans is what's in our brain. You know, you can say, oh, look at the body, so that must mean that the brain is male, female, whatever. But the body and the brain is kind of like a car with a person in it. The car being the body of the human and the person driving it being the brain. So let's say 1,000 years from now, somebody finds what's left of a rusted out car. They may be able to look at that car and do some research and figure out the make, the model, the year, maybe where it was built, those sorts of things. But there's no way they're going to be able to tell you if the person that drove and owned that car, which is going to be decomposed and gone by then, whether that person uh, liked cilantro or hated cilantro, or liked mint chocolate ice cream or hated it, or had a widow's peak, or could roll their tongue. These are all things that can be genetic, okay? So my point is, you look at the body and you're really judging a book by its cover. Now, there's a lot of mysteries with the human brain, things that we still don't understand. Scientists are trying to figure out. So, to say that looking at a person's body, looking at their genitalia, whatever, and saying that is the way their brain is inside their head is incredibly flawed and ignorant. Um, you don't know what's going on in somebody's head. Now, if you want to say the transgender person, you go, well, they're mentally ill or they're screwed up in the head or whatever. That's just your opinion, man. You don't know. But all I can tell you is these folks take a lot of shit for trying to be themselves in public. And I don't know why a person would want to fake that or bullshit that so they can go out into the world and get fucking hassled and ridiculed. Now, I think what we need to do is let people be who they think they are. I mean, a lot of people believe that perception is reality. Anyways, that whole common sense argument and looking at the genitalia, that's so incredibly ignorant and narrow-minded. Whatever. What do you think?